Hi, everybody, and welcome to this short video clip for Athena Studies. My name is Zina, and I'm going to be explaining to you some distribution rules for statistics. There are two different types of rules depending on the type of distribution that you are looking at. The first rule, Chebyshev's rule, can be used for any type of distribution, whether it is normal or not. Here, you can see in the diagram that the central tendency measure is the mean. You have the sample mean or the population mean, depending on which symbol you're looking at. The symbols here represent either the sample or the population standard deviations or standard error. The S represents standard error, the sigma represents standard deviation. What this rule tells you is how much, what proportion of the data is found within a certain amount of standard deviations away from the mean. For example, this green line here is telling us that from the mean, 2 standard deviations away from the mean, you can find at least 75% of the data in your data set. In 3 standard deviations away from the mean, you find at least 88.89% of your data, which is the majority of the data. What you can establish from this is that majority of the data is found between 3 standard deviations away from the mean on both sides. The empirical rule is similar, except it can only be used for normal distributions. Similarly, you have the central tendency measure of the mean, the population mean, and you have 1, 2, 3 standard deviations on each side. Here we see that 1 standard deviation contains 68% of values in the data set. 2 standard deviations is 95% of values, and 99.7% of values is found amongst 3 standard deviations of the mean. Here you can see the proportion of data from your data set that you will find within a certain amount of standard deviations from the mean. And there are 2 different types of rules to use for this depending on the type of distribution that you are looking at. Thank you. I hope to see you at the course soon.